2023. In Chaldean numerology, 2023 has a significant meaning. The 20 is connected to the awakening, and the 23 is the royal star of the lion. With these combinations of numbers, there's an elegant mystery and a royal emerging within the year of 2023. It can be one of freedom. There seems to be a blessing over this year and a mysterious aura that is conjuring this blessing. There is a lot of chains unlocking within this year that we're going to find, with the 23 being reduced down to a 5, which is the spirit of man. Therefore, in this blueprint for Aries, rising sun and moon, we are going to look at the transits and how they will deeply affect your story. The things that you want are at the forefront, and how you're going to overcome challenges, hurdles, and all sorts of circumstances in order to get them. A very unique spin on astrology is what we do here. Therefore, in this blueprint for Aries, rising sun and moon, we are going to look at the transits and how they will deeply affect your story. The things that you want are at the forefront, and how you're going to overcome challenges, hurdles, and all sorts of circumstances in order to get them. Now it's time to put your astrology into action. And as you approach 2023, I want you to ask yourself, what do you want out of 2023? What you want is the purest desire that will really help to overcome any of the challenges and the situations and circumstances that you're going to face in 2023. So I want you to think about what you want and why do you want it. And you can contemplate, meditate, or write this down in whichever capacity serves you. Now let's look at Saturn, which will challenge you in what you want in 2023. Saturn will be entering into Pisces on March the 7th. This means that from January to March, we are finishing Saturn's transit through Aquarius, and Saturn has been in Aquarius for 3 years. This means our lessons of Aquarius are coming to an end, and by March the 7th, Saturn moving into Pisces brings about new lessons, new challenges to overcome. Saturn creates pressure for you in order to help refine you under pressure. And in Pisces, it will globally be putting pressure on people when it comes to their victimization and their dishonesty. We will be looking at how it is that we stay in this fantasy of victimizing ourselves and how we can actually overcome that. For you, Aries, moon, rising, or sun, Saturn being in Pisces is the actual place of restoration. And it is through rest that you rejuvenate and you actually break free from your victimization. And it's very difficult in the modern world to deal with this area of your chart, because the modern world will tell you that working hard and pushing really hard is the key. But it's actually Saturn being the planet of hard effort in the house of rest, in which working really hard to find your rest and restoration is the key. You'll also be dealing with where it is that you need to have more vulnerability in order to find your subconscious blocks. You're going to have to be willing to have therapy this year with Saturn in your 12th house and for the next 3 years. This type of therapy is unblocking your subconscious and helping you to find that freedom specifically in 2023. Now, it is a year of balance. Therefore, Saturn creates more heavy weight in your 12th house. And so it is in opposition to your 6th house of daily work, effort, scheduling. And so a lot of this is about balancing and making sure that both areas of your life are actually getting your attention. But Saturn really wants you to focus here on your private life, your isolation, and how is it that you can refine and craft your meditation. Globally, it's a year where we're going to be projecting in negative and positive ways. Negative ways is projecting our victimized state onto others and blaming and complaining. But positive projection is creation, where we create films, storylines, and project ourselves and our story onto these artistic expressions and on blank canvases. So, this is your chance to choose which projection you can actually embody. Saturn is where you persevere in your manifestation. Therefore, the things that you want, you have to persevere through Saturn. Saturn is what you want is fed by you working really hard at finding this therapy, this meditation, and unlocking your victimized state into freedom. Now, you may hit rock bottom in 2023. And if you do, it's just a major part of your story to actually get back up on your feet. If you hit rock bottom, check out my video. If you hit rock bottom, here's what you need to understand. Saturn does create these challenges, and sometimes we may fall, but the faster you know how to get up using Saturn, the easier it will become to overcome and prevail. Rock bottom in the 12th house can be anything from losing your mental health, losing your physical health, and finding yourself even hospitalized at certain points. Thriving with Saturn is what you really want to aim for. Saturn is where you are rewarded, and therefore, if the discipline is working within you on a regular basis, Saturn becomes where you are rewarded. Therefore, you may be someone who deeply heals the world, who deeply heals an entire collective subconscious mind. Saturn is also where you can be rewarded with incredible hospitality. And in a lot of ways, Saturn in the 12th house may be encouraging you to work really hard at your own hospitality. How is it that you can create this type of care within your own self first, and then it will start to project onto others? For over 15 years, Pluto has been in Capricorn, and in 2023, Pluto will move into Aquarius. This is a major shift because Pluto moving into Aquarius suggests that our collective psychology is shifting. Pluto is where we purify, and it's where we want to renew things. And quite often, that renewal state also seems to come with some destruction. And with it being in Aquarius, I think that this is going to be connected to our ways that we interact and socially relate to one another in group hierarchies, as well as permission to be a part of certain groups and sectors of life. I have a full video on Pluto in Aquarius specifically. For you, Aries rising, this is going to be a shift from the purification of Pluto in your 10th house into the purification of Pluto in your 11th house. So this is natural to Aquarius energy and the 11th house, in which the actual purification will be in how you socially interact with groups of people. This will be about looking at where it is that you are in the hierarchy of social groups. And if you are in higher placements in social groups, the privilege that may come with it and the responsibility that you have with it, because the 11th house is also Saturnian energy. So there's a level of responsibility in being in higher places in society. Now, if you are at a lower state in society, this may be a complete transformation for you. You may experience yourself go from rags to riches through the empowerment of self. What Pluto actually does is look at where we are the victim as well. And it actually gives power to the victim. It looks at where it is that you may have found yourself intimidated. So in the 11th house, how is it that you are intimidated by social interactions, social group interactions, and acceptance and belonging to groups? Also, Pluto is where we abuse power. So if you are in a high state socially already in the ladder of hierarchy, how is it that you are abusing the power, right? And so there may be a purification in that, an awareness that you come to. So it's really up to you to engage where it is that you feel that you are, and then actually create a relationship to what you want, because what you want and how you are empowering yourself and others matters a lot this year. So let's look at the date as to when Pluto moves into Aquarius. This will be on March the 23rd that this action takes place. Now, understand that Pluto moving into Aquarius is a very small shift, but a major wave that will happen here. Also, Pluto's retrograde that happens later in the year in October will bring it back into Capricorn energy for a little bit. But after 2023, Pluto begins the journey through Aquarius and probably for the next 10 to 15 years. So 2023 is a very big shift for you in all that we talked about with Pluto empowering. And if you want to know more about how to empower Pluto through your manifestation in astrology, you can check out the Astrology in Action course where I have an entire section on this very thing. So, the big question for you, Aries, is how do you win? We're going to look at Mars transit specifically for you and how it is that you can win in 2023, the thing that you want. Mars is going to be moving from Gemini into Sagittarius for all of 2023. So, this transit through this half of the zodiac, right, is connected to self expression and publishing that self expression. At the beginning of 2023, you're going to be winning by creatively figuring out what your self expression is. You're going to be relating to the things that bother you, that trigger you, the things that want to see you grow, and how it is that you can express that through your words. You're then going to be moving through the process of emotional fulfillment, through the process of how you can creatively role play and be the actor of your own story. You're also going to be looking at refinement and how it is that you can win at your health. You're also going to be very much integrated with other people, specifically one on one situations. This is how you win. The ability to relate to people on a one on one basis and be intimate with people, not just sexually, but also just vulnerably, is going to be the path of your winning this year. By the end of the year, your win is coming through a publication, something that you have put together all of your ideas and hit publish or hit post on. And it's something that will truly help you to feel like you are at the top of your game. Some of the things that I think you can affirm yourself for this year is what that win and that published post is going to feel like. Something like, I'm going to be the best published person this year. I'm going to have something that really catapults people into their higher selves, that really gets people to see the big picture. All of these things is where Mars is aiming for, being in Sagittarius in your ninth house. Now, if you want a full experience, you can see the write up where I go through all of the Mars placements at the dates that they're going to be in the Aries write up on my Etsy shop. And if you really want an intense coaching on how to use the astrology to manifest for 2023, check out my astrology and manifesting course called Astrology in Action. Enjoy your 2023. You deserve it.